Welcome back, everybody, to the 2023 Derby City Classic One Pocket Division. This is round number 12. And as you see on your screen, we've got a couple of world-class players for you. First one needs no introduction. He has no losses. This is round 12, and it is Efren Bata Reyes versus the young gun who's picked up one pocket quickly in the last few years, the Kentucky kid, Skyler Woodward. Now, like I said, Reyes has no losses. Woodward with one loss, so this is an elimination match for him. They will lag for the break. Let me go over the rules real quick. Each player gets a single designated pocket. 8 of any ball into that pocket wins the game. Any foul will cost you a ball, meaning no rail or a scratch. That will always cost you a ball. Alternate the break. A ball on the break is a re-rack. Any ball on the break is a re-rack. 3 foul rule is in effect, meaning 3 consecutive fouls will cost you the game. And then last but not least, they are not allowed to use jump cues. Like to thank our partner, Bad Boys Billiard Productions, for being a portion of this stream. We appreciate you so much. Reyes wins the lag, and he's going to kick this race to 3 off. I am your host, Scott Frost. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope we can all learn something here today. Right away, we notice this spread that Reyes has come up with. A lot of open balls. The 2 is high, the 11 is low, the 14 is low. These are all problem balls for Woodward. The 15 and 10 kind of favor Reyes from this position. The 1 is very tough for Woodward to come off of because of its position so close to the rail. And as you see, a little shake of the head by Woodward. Right away, looking down the barrel of trouble. So I'm right here with you guys and trying to figure out some options as well. If the 1 doesn't pass the 2, he could always take a foul up in the top right corner pocket. He'd like to do something a little more aggressive. There's a chance he could bank at the 5. I don't think he can see enough of it. This is the only angle I have to work with, so give me a little bit of leeway if I call something wrong. A foul is always an option. He might play the 7 off the bottom of the 5 and just stick the cue ball on top of the 9 and 4, try and disturb something and maybe send something to his side. And that's what he's done. He's pocketed the 7, but he'll be thrilled with that. He's pocketed the 7 in Reyes' pocket, so Reyes will get 1 ball out of this. And he still holds position. The 12 came over for Woodward, but it was kind of good and bad because Reyes is now going to use that 12 to his advantage. Now we're kind of back to square one, almost looking at it as if Reyes just broke again. You notice the 1, right? I keep looking at the 1, and the reason that I keep looking at it is it's a common escape. A lot of times guys will use that high ball to escape and get below the 14 or 2. It's just too close to the rail and a little too risky to mess with it. Can he cross the 13 into the 10 and swing the cue ball 2 rails up behind the 12, up into the right corner? It's a possibility. Can he come off of the 5 and draw between the 2 and 14? The reason that that's risky, coming off the 5 and drawing between the 2 and 14, is because he could leave a return bank very easily on the 10 15, or even the 13. There is a pretty good foul Sky could take. He could kick 2 rails softly up to the top right corner and snooker Reyes behind the 12. Pretty containing. He didn't get a rail, so that is a foul, and he will 0-1. The reason he chose that is it was probably the highest percentage to at least get the cue ball safe. So I can't fault him for that decision. Reyes does have a look at the 13, but can he play the 6-2 rails and go into the 13, sending both balls towards his side? He's great at this shot. Had the fortunate ability of watching Reyes in person many, many times, and I've played him a couple times as well. He's such a great carom player. I think this shot is available. Oh, and it is available. He's got the 14 close, and note the path the 6 was on, sending both towards his pocket. This is a very big match. This is round 12 of the Derby City Classic. Woodward has a loss. Reyes has no losses. 69 years old into round 12 of the one pocket event. 500 plus players. Absolutely amazing. Gotta wonder if Skyler can slow spin to the bottom of the 14. The concern there is the scratch. So he's going to kick at it. This is dangerous. Well, he's played this. I think it was very intelligent. He's played to kick it full or catch the top side. Reyes now has 2. Woodward owes 1. Reyes is going to go to the 11 ball and use the 5 and 6 as cover, get something closer to his pocket here. Yeah, he's just applying the pressure. Note the 13 getting closer. The 11's come down. The stack is covering the 11. This is nothing pretty to look at if you're Woodward. This is all a result of that amazing break-off that Reyes had. Woodward's still on the defense, and it looks to me like he's going to be on the defense for some time unless he can find something ultra aggressive here. Don't believe that he can kick to the bottom of the 13. I think the 6 has him snookered. I don't even think he can see the 2. Possibly ticky. A ticky shot is a ticky kick behind the 2. Basically, with a little high cue ball and running English. You want to ticky the backside of the 2 and then maybe ticky the backside of the 13, but the speed on that shot is all too important. The 3 and 15 are aimed low, so that's not on in Skyler's pocket. He did play the ticky, hit it a little firm. He's going to owe 2 balls, and Reyes in game number 1 has ball in hand. Cue ball must stay behind the line. He's got options here. He's going to play the stripe, which is the 14, just above the 13. And the reason he's doing this is it takes a little pressure off pocketing the ball. Cue ball's going to float over for the 2. He stayed down real well there, too. 69 years old. Every now and then gets a little body movement. I'm 48. And I constantly have body movement, so it's quite amazing what this man's accomplished here at this event, not only in his career, which is probably the greatest to ever live. He's coming all the way around. He can get on the green 6 or the 5. Really nice angle. He's playing for 3. He could play the 6 if it goes and drop to the short side of the 11, or he can play the 5 and go to the 1. The 5 carries a little more pressure because if you happen to miss it, you will leave a shot for Woodward. If you play the 6 and go to the 11, it's kind of a free shot. He's comfortable with the 5, and he's knocked it down, playing for 2. He can come over to the 6 or maybe punch over to the short side of the 11. And he's done well, playing for 1 and a 1-0 lead in this race to 3. Nicely done. He stayed down well there. That's a great sign. And Reyes takes game number 1. This stream is sponsored by Hustling USA, JB Custom Cases, Jerry Olivier Custom Cues, and last but not least, the great Littman Lights. Thank you guys so much for your participation and sponsorship. So Reyes takes the first game. Woodward needs to counter with a very good break. For you folks at home that don't play a lot of one pocket, you typically want to leave the cue ball closer to the side rail and you want to use a low inside. A lot of people think naturally that you want a high inside. You can use both, but the high cue ball will react a lot different than the low. And notice how he's aiming a little bit lower. He's going to allow the cue ball to drag through the balls. And he has broke these balls quite well. Notice the 12 is high, the 9 is low. This is customary, the one pocket break. Reyes has got a little problem here. He can come off the 1, but once again, like last game, the 1 is close to the rail, so he's going to have to really control this cue ball. He'd like to get below the 12 and 9. Oh, geez, very well done. Very well done. Andy's controlled the 1. Don't believe Sky can bank the 1 towards his pocket without a kiss. Took a look at the 9. Could you play the 9 straight in? It's risky. He's looking at coming off the 12 thin, sending the cue ball 3 rails up towards that top side pocket, using the stack as coverage. He needs to catch this thin. Well, he's caught it a little thick. He wanted to keep the 12 in front of his hole. Reyes 1 shot away of escaping this break. I believe that right away, knowing his game so well, that he can kick to the 12, sending the 12 towards his pocket and using the 9 as cover for the cue ball. Although it is a pretty extreme angle, he's great at this shot. Okay, he's caught it a fraction thick. But he's escaped. No broken bones. Woodward taking a look at the cross on the 9. The problem is I don't know that he can get the cue ball out of the way of the 12. Can you come off the top of the 12 and park him behind the 4, 11, and 3? Can you come off of the bottom of the 15 and put him behind the 4, 11, and 3? Or does he want to do something more aggressive? He could possibly bank the 13. Stick Efren on the 5. Could come away with position on the 10 as well. I don't know if he's got to worry about leaving a shot on the blue 2 if he banks the 13. Taking his time. Let me give credit where it's due. Skyler Woodward has improved his one-pocket game leaps and bounds. A real student of all games, pool, world-class bank pool player, but really, really intrigued by one pocket, and you can see it. You've got to wonder how many times Skyler's played Reyes in a one-pocket tournament, if any. Oh, I believe he's hit this very, very well. Oh, and it just holds up. And note the position. He could even get to the low side of the cue ball. So if that 13 drops, Woodward would have got some balls there. Ray is in a problem spot here. I don't think the 2 plays. The problem with making the 13 with the 10 is the angle is incorrect. So if you played that shot, the cue ball would be going towards the 7 and you could sell something out. So I think Reyes has to go through the 10 with the cue ball. The problem with that is that those 2 balls are so close together. I believe that's what he's going to do. And he's come up just a bit short. Woodward with his first real opportunity in this match. Wow. He really played thin to that 13. I was a little surprised he didn't dig into it, catch it a little thicker. But neither here nor there. He's off to the races. 2 rails out to the 14. Yeah, nicely done. Makes it look easy, this young man. Wants to go into the 5 here, but not too hard. Nice medium pace and just flutter these balls open. Oh, well done. Perfect. At minimum, he's got a shot on the blue 2. Could go into the 4 to slow the cue ball down. Believe that's what he's going to play. Well done again. He didn't want to get on the rail. He needs to be careful, and he knows he needs to be careful because every ball on the table, except for the 1, goes in Reyes' pocket. So just roll this 6 in and play the 15-7 combination. Or if you feel good about it, pinch it with a little inside English and go up into the 11. But both shots can be hit easily. In your mind, you're thinking, use the 15 and 7 as blockers. At worst, I'll hang this ball up. At best, I can run out. Doesn't want to shoot the 9. The cue ball's going away from the object balls. Just roll this in. I'm very surprised about that decision. It seems to me like he was in between shots in his mind. You could see how quick he was with that final backstroke. There was a strange pause in there. And Reyes has an opening to steal this game, playing for 8, and they are all right there. Well, he's gotten a little flat on the 9. He can go to the 4. But the problem is he's going to run into the 11. Want to avoid running into balls at all costs. But this lays naturally. He should get a shot on one of those 3 balls, the 15, 7, or 6. And he's controlled it very well. Playing for 6. Woodward with a 4-0 ball lead this game. Uncharacteristic miss on the 6. He can just pinch draw this back to the 7. And now either punch out or draw out for the cut on the 11. He could play the combination if he'd like. Perfect. 69 years old. This man looks solid as a rock. Efren Reyes, Filipinos' finest. And they love this man, and there's a lot of reasons for it. Probably the best ambassador of professional pool that there's ever been. One great representative of his country. And I'm proud to call him a friend of mine. Little body movement there, but he's going to be fine. He's gotten to the 3. Can even play the 9 if he'd like. Come back over. He's going to fall a little flat here, meaning straight in. He can bank the 5. He's playing for 2. This is a heartbreak hotel scenario for Woodward. He had this game in the palm of his hand, let it slip away. And kind of to my point earlier, is he a little starstruck? Oh, what a hit by Reyes with perfect speed, straight in the heart, and he takes game number 2 like a thief in the night. This stream is sponsored by, an entire event is hosted by Diamond Billiard Products, Ian Simonis, Simonis Cloth, Aramith Billiard Balls, the best pool balls in the world, Outsville AccuRack, AccuStats Video Productions, and the long-running Masters Billiard Chalk. Thank you guys so much for your participation. Without you, this tournament wouldn't be possible. So here we are in a situation where it looked like this match would be tied up at 1. Reyes steals the game, looking to repeat his first break. He would be thrilled with that result. He too will use a drag with a low inside. So what's happening there, guys, is the cue ball is turning over. The low English is turning over and acting as a high English, except when you use a real high cue ball, it kind of wants to back up or glance off the balls for a split second. When you use a drag shot with low inside English, that cue ball is always taking the forward motion, as long as you give it time to turn over before it hits the rack. He did not break them as good as he could have that time. Woodward had a pretty good escape on the 12. But Reyes has a couple options here. Decided to play the containment shot. He's covered up on the 7 and 1. He's definitely using the 7 and 1 to his advantage. Those balls are available and can lead to a lot of other good options. Woodward's really looking at not much of anything. Might have to come off the edge of the 8. Could take a kick. to the center diamond on the bottom rail. Just take a foul. For you folks at home that don't play the game all too much, you definitely don't want to take a foul right there behind the 11 or 13 because that's the wrong side of the stack. It's kind of an unwritten rule in one pocket. He's going to come off of the 8. Needs the cue ball to settle. Reyes looking to kick here. Kind of interesting. I didn't know with the position of the 8 and 3 being locked up the way they were that he was going to get a lot of good action there. I guess you have to think he knew that. Didn't get a rail, and I believe he's left Woodward a window on the purple 4. And he has. They call him the bluegrass you-know-what from Kentucky, and he is well known for his banking abilities. Can he pinch draw this 3 ball and get on the 14? He did. I believe he's good. Rub the 5 here, just a fraction. So we can shoot the 10 next. He's fallen a little flat. He'd like to be able to dig into this 10, catch the 15, and possibly get a shot on the 8. And I believe he was really trying to focus on opening those balls up. Another uncharacteristic miss. A little quick. Could be credited to a little fatigue. I know both of these guys have been playing a lot of pool. Yes, even Skyler Woodward can get tired at the Derby City Classic. Nice cue ball. Not a great finish, though. He did not want those balls to tie up there. 10-1, 13. I don't believe the 13 passes. 12 is all jumbled up in there. Woodward got a look at the 11. What can he do with the cue ball? Does it pass the 8, or do you play it into the 8? My question is, where does he go with the cue ball? Do you stun upwards beyond the 7? And that's what he's done. Yeah, I don't think this is a good result. Reyes can bank the 7 if the 13 doesn't pass. I don't believe it passes. So Reyes has options here on how he wants to bank the 7. You could roll forward, coming to the right side of the lower side pocket with maybe a little left-hand spin. He has to avoid leaving Woodward a shot on the 6 in case of a miss. He could hit it with speed, but when hitting it with speed, you do risk the probability of losing control of both the cue ball and object ball. See how he chooses to play this. He's definitely banking at it. Oh, and what a play by Reyes there. Used a stun inside English to the top rail and then below inside the 6. Position on the 5, 9, 15, and everything opens up. What a hit by Reyes. He hit that with confidence, right? If he hits that ball a fraction short at the speed he hit it, it's going to come to the other side of the table. That's how certain he was, or how dialed he was on making that bank. But what's even more impressive is that he took care of the cue ball at the same time. Did he fall good here to go into the 1 and 10, or maybe even just the 10? Oh, he's gone into both, and they've opened up perfectly. Reyes playing for 6, and we can see that there's 6 of them there. The 10, 11, 15, 1. He's gotten a little flat on the 11. He can punch out or possibly go 2 rails forward. He could also spin out of this, I guess. Oh, yeah, what a stroke. He stayed down so well there. And that's kind of how I measure Efren's game. When his head movement is solid in his later years, he's still possibly the best player on planet Earth, especially playing one pocket. He's playing for 4. Needs to get on another ball here. And he's like perfect for the stripe. He can come over for the 15. He doesn't want to get straight. He has fallen a little bit straight, so the problem now is that he's got to contest with the side pocket, possibly. He's going to draw back. He's playing for 2. Oh, he's staying down so well. He's got some distance here. If he does miss this day and age, it's the longer shot. Playing for 1 and to advance. Oh my goodness, he's hung it up. He's rattled the 13, and Woodward has life. He said, I've still got some life. The 5 spots up. I immediately see a problem. It's the green 6. If Woodward chooses to follow the 13 in at any point in time, Reyes can take ball in hand and play the 6. So Woodward must get on the 6 here. And he's done that. He'd like the cue ball to settle. This looks pretty straight to me. He's going to have to force this. Wow. Mach 1. He rifled that ball in. He's gotten a little too much out of the cue ball. He's going to fall a little bit short of running the 3 balls that he could. He's going to follow in this ball. And 2 are going to come up. 1 for him and the ball that he made for Reyes. But you've got to wonder how Efren is feeling after that miss. He knows that Woodward has the firepower to win this game. He must stay careful. I like this play. What does the 1 and 12 look like? Boy, I feel like you're going to lose the cue ball, but there's an option. You could bank the 5 into the 1, but man, it's risky, especially with your opponent needing 1. I think I'd just come off the bottom of the 5 and suck the cue ball down into the top left corner pocket. Oh, he's played the initial shot. He's fortunate he didn't scratch. Or is he really fortunate? He hit that so well. What a execution that was. Really applying the pressure to Reyes now. Soft kick behind the 12. He's got to defend against the 1 as well, though, here, so he knows that speed is all too important. He'd like to use the 12 to cover up the 1. I believe he's done it. I believe he's covered up the straight back on the 1. That's very important. Because if Skyler can see the 1, all of it, he can roll the 1 towards his corner, use the 5 and 12 as blockers, send the cue ball up table, and keep the pressure on Reyes. Skyler is going to be the aggressor of the 2. He needs all of them. That's common in one pocket. When you're way behind, and he's not way behind, but he is in the match. But when you're behind in a game like this, you need to stay aggressive. You need to be the one controlling the game. Continue to make your opponent get out of trouble, get out of traps. Sooner or later, pressure can bust pipes. And if you keep the pressure on your opponent, you might get a shot. Doesn't want that to fall. He didn't want that falling in the side. The reason being, it's now back in play for Woodward. Woodward has a bank on this 12. Can send the cue ball up to the right end of that top side pocket for position. He knows this is a huge shot. And in a race to 3, he's not out of this match. Looks good. Oh, it's come a bit short. Wow. Just a fraction short. Reyes could 2-rail this 12 out, maybe go forward just a hair to the lower left diamond. Kind of cut Skyler off from everything. Can he cross the 5 and miss the kiss? Yes, he can. So he used a center inside English there. Caught the 5 a little bit thick, but he'll be happy with it. I don't believe that Skyler can miss the kiss on this 5. But maybe he can. The problem with cross-banking the 5 into the 12 is that he's going to have to use a lot of inside English. Therefore, if you don't make the 12 crossing the 5, you're probably going to leave a shot on the 10 for Reyes, and he only needs 1. So you really got to be careful here. Do you gamble your entire tournament on this 1 shot? Or do you live to fight another day? Do us a favor. Like and subscribe. Railbirds TV. Hit that notification bell, bringing you all the action on YouTube. And they will be for a long time to come. Thank you so much. And thank you for putting up with me. I can only imagine what you're all going through. Really taking his time here. And that tells me, obviously, that the 5 is not laying good for the cross corner. I mean, at worst, I feel like he could soft kick behind it. Well, he's done this to perfection. He's cut Reyes off from the 12. He's cut him off from the 10. I don't even think Reyes can see the 2. Yes. What do you do here? Or am I fooled by this angle? Can he see the 2? If anybody can pull something special out, it's the man at the table. I believe he's won 5 Master of the Tables here at the Derby City Classic. Numerous one-pocket titles. I think he's going to leave a shot this time, though. At minimum, Woodward can cut the 10, but he's also got the 12 right there. Do you loosen up and just cut the 12 in with a tip of right English? Come up and down, possibly get a shot on the 5. If not, get a cut on the 10. Or do you take the 10 now? The 10 is steeper than the 12. Maybe he feels like he can control the cue ball a little bit better if he shoots this 10. That's what he's doing. I don't know if he's got a full pocket, though. He's overcut the ball. And I will mention, these are 4 1/4 inch pockets. This year, Derby has made the great move, tightening the tables up a little bit. Really, really brings one pocket into play. A lot more moving, kicking, sticking, doing things like that. Well, Reyes has put one down for Woodward. Woodward needs them all, playing for 3. He's got a bank on the 12. Oh, he's hit it really nicely. Is it short again? Man, I didn't expect it to come short. He had left spin on it. I thought he hit it perfect. The speed was pretty good. Note the cue ball. But does Reyes have a cut on the 5 for the win? He's went to the kick. A little surprised there, so he wasn't comfortable cutting the 5. The scratch was not in play, at least to the side pocket. He could have lost it one rail into the top left corner. I can't fault him. He needs 1. No reason to press your luck. Woodward needs to now defend from leaving Reyes something. This is one of those positions that's tough to commentate because there's so many variables. This exact position where Woodward needs 3 and Reyes needs 1, and these 3 balls are in this particular position, might not come up for another decade for Woodward. So you just don't know how he's going to play it, and I don't know if he knows how he's going to play it. Is he banking at the 5? Oh, what a great hit. Short again, but valiant effort. And a wonderful cue ball. I don't even think Reyes will consider entertaining the cross corner on the 5. I think the kiss is in play. There's a ton of distance. The last thing he wants to do is scratch or double kiss the 5. He'd like to get something out of play here. He could long rail kick behind the 5 and send it back up table. His fear there could be to leave a return bank. Is he going to come off the 2? Yes, I do like this play. He knows putting the 2 there that Woodward cannot win the game. Now, he cannot win the game in 1 inning. Well, he's not supposed to win the game in 1 inning. Woodward can possibly do anything. A lot of body movement there, and you can see by the hit, and Reyes has a real opportunity to win this match. 3 games to 0, and the real decider here was in game number 2 when Woodward had a great cut on the 6 to run all the balls. I think he got a little quick and undecided. Is he staying passive? No, he's played the cross on the 5. Real good cue ball to go into the 12. But he's caught the 5 a hair thick again. I do believe you can cross this. He's looking at the 5. It could carry position. He's hit it thick as well. He's caught the point. What do you do here? I think you've got to do something with the 5. I don't think you risk cutting at it due to the position of the 12. Do you just bank it up towards the chalk on the top right side of the table? And that's what he's done. But he's forgotten about something. He's left a bank on the 12. Woodward going to take a look at this. Oh, and he's rifled it in. His bank game is so strong, so confident. What a hit there. That's a twist back bank. Low left English or low outside to turn that ball back past the 2. He's going to send the 5 to his side. Play the cue ball. Woodward creeping back into this match, or at least back into this game. Oh, this looks nicely controlled. Yes, this is very awkward for Woodward. He doesn't want to do anything with the 2, in danger of making it, leaving Reyes a spot shot. So he's going to have to do something with the 5. Do you just graze off the edge? Kind of bunt it over towards the chalk? Well, he's really rolled this. Is he going to miss the whole ball? He has just caught it. You can tell by Reyes' body language and smile. Skyler might have got away with a little something there. Okay, you want to bunt this back out to where it is. Well, I'm a little surprised that he put it right in front of the hole. I don't think that's what he was trying to do. I think he wanted a little more out of the 5 because Skyler can now roll this in, applying a little bit of pressure on Reyes. For you folks that don't play the game, it doesn't matter that he spotted the 11. They both know that Reyes needs 1, so they just grab any ball out of the trough and continue on. If somebody scratches or something like that, they'll straighten the balls out and continue forward. I believe Woodward has a 2-railer here. Watch the kiss. Watch the kiss. This move disastrous for Woodward. He has a loss, and he must go if Reyes can knock this down. Reyes playing for 1 with no losses, and it looks to be in the heart with a little wave of the fist and a let's go. Reyes takes it 3 games to 0. Kind of unexpected to win like this, but man, he's playing good. What a story. Reyes on to round 13. No losses. Could it really happen? Could it really be? I am your host, Scott Frost. Thank you all so much for putting up with me. Until next time.